Hey there YouTube, it's Elizabeth. Today is going to be a plant tour. So these are all of my house plants, including two outdoor plants that are on my front porch. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is my Monstera Peru. I got it at Lowe's about 6 months ago. I think it was $20, and I have it up on a moss pole under a grow light. And it had not done anything until very recently. So you can see this growth point here. It struggled to give me, it tried to give me a leaf here, it tried to give me a leaf here, it tried to give me one down here. And then finally it gave me this really sad looking leaf, but then it gave me this beautiful leaf. It's a little bit small, but that's okay. I'm happy to see it. And then it's giving me another one, so that's really exciting to see. The only other leaf that it's given me is this one down here, and it's getting some brown spots on it, so I don't know why. But I really like this plant. I love how full and lush it is. I think it's really nice looking. Okay, let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time on each plant. This is my Monstera Esqueleto, and it too is on a moss pole. All of these are on moss poles, and each one has its own grow light. This one I bought off of Etsy, and I think it was $60, and it has attached to the moss pole pretty well, actually really well. But I would just like to see it increase in leaf size a little bit better. This leaf is its largest one, and since then it has given me the smaller, kind of sad looking one. And then these two are bigger, and then this one is a little bit small again. So I think this one was a little bit small because it was sitting in water. So I've tried to drain it out better. But then I don't know why this one is a little bit small, but I really like the fenestrations on this. I think it looks really cool. Next is my Monstera lechleriana. I really like Monsteras, as you'll see. And this one has some really like velvety leaves on it, almost like a velvet philodendron. Some of these leaves have some spots on them, and I don't know why. I don't see any pests on it. There are 3 plants in this pot. This larger one on the left, this tiny one in the middle, and again another larger one on the right. It just gave me this leaf. The one on the right, I've shown this before. It did give me some leaves with fenestrations. You can see one there. But the last 2 leaves have not had any fenestrations, and I don't know why. It is rooted into the moss pole, but I still really like it. I love the big leaves. I like the velvety texture. I got the 2 outer plants at my local plant store, and then I got the inner one from a lady on Facebook. And the one that I got from Facebook was pretty tiny, and it has grown quite a bit. So I'm happy to see that it's still alive. It has not rooted into the moss pole like unlike the 2 on the sides. But yeah, I do really like this plant. Okay, let's duck down here. We have a snake plant. We just have 1 plant in this pot. All the other plants have died off. They've all gotten root rot, even though I rarely water this. So I am keeping an eye on this every day. I'm kind of tugging on the leaves to see if they pull out, because I don't want them to get root rot. I'm like not even watering this at all. So I have 1 propagation from this plant, and it has started rooting, which is really exciting. So if that goes anywhere, then I will pop it back in this pot. But I'm kind of doubting this plant's chances of survival, seeing that all the other plants have died off. But I like the look of it. I like the nice long leaves. I think it looks cool. This was a gift from my dad as a housewarming gift at my last house I lived in. All right, moving on, we have our first philodendron. This is a philodendron silver sword. I got this at my local plant store, and this plant baffles me. So it put out this beautiful, huge leaf right after I bought it, and since then it has done some weird things. And I've showed this on my other videos, but let me show you again. It put out this growth point and a flower, which has died off. After that, it put out this tiny leaf. It also had thrips around the time of putting out this tiny leaf. So maybe that's why it's so like small and deformed. I don't know. And then, this is something I have not showed yet. I pulled at the caterpillar and two things popped out, and I don't know what they are, if they're another flower and growth point, or a leaf and a growth point, or two growth points, or what. But yeah, this plant baffles me. I wish it would just push out nice big leaves and grow normally. It has finally rooted into the moss pole, which is nice. But other than that, yeah, it just has done some weird things. Moving on, we have my Syngonium elbow. I got this at my local plant store, and I love it. It has some beautiful variegation on it. Like, look at this leaf. Wow, check that out. So pretty. That's the newest leaf. Actually, it has a very new leaf on the way. So that's nice to see. It has rooted into the moss pole. But yeah, it has some beautiful variegation on it. And I didn't think I would be into Syngoniums, but this plant, they had it at the store, and time after time I would see it and I would think, oh, maybe I should get it. I don't know. And then I finally picked it up, and I'm glad I did because I do really like it. Next is my Epipremnum aureum Snow Queen. And again, I got this at the local plant store. It was $19, and it was a huge full pot with like at least 20 different plants in it. So what I did is I took out just 5 plants, and I took the rest to the plant swap. And so 3 of the plants here have started growing new leaves, and the other 2 haven't really done anything. So this is a new leaf, this is a new leaf, and then all the way down here, there's the new leaf on that 3rd growth point. So I really like the variegation on this, and it's such a fast grower. Even though it is variegated. I have it in a pretty big pot because it has an amazingly large root system, so I didn't want it to get too overcrowded. And then we have another Epipremnum. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue, and this has kind of a long story to it. I had it on a coco coir pole, and it was like wrapped around and going kind of vertically that way. But it wasn't giving me any larger growth, and with a coco coir pole you can't get the roots to root into the pole like you can with a moss pole. So I took it off of that pole and I put it on a moss pole, and I have 5 plants in this pot, and I have them all growing vertically, straight vertically, none of this wrapping around business, and already I can see a difference with these leaves sizing up. So like they're still on the small side, but you know, here's a leaf, here's a new leaf, and compared to how they were down here, they're quite a bit bigger. You know, you can see how small they were down here. This plant has given me 2 leaves with fenestrations, one there and one over. This one had the fenestrations when I bought it. There it is. That one has a little fenestration. So that's my goal, big leaves with fenestrations with this plant. Let's go outside and I will show you my 2 outdoor plants. Here I have my Better Boy tomato plant. I got these at the plant swap and they're doing amazing. There are 3 plants in here and I bought a stake for it and they're growing so well. So hopefully I will get some tomatoes from it. And then here's my Boston fern, and it was inside all during the winter and the cats really chewed on it and messed with it. But we are getting some new growth, so that's good to see. I'm going to go back inside because I don't like the neighbors watching me. Hi, Chico. Okay, let's go over to this set of moss pole. Here is my Monstera deliciosa. I love this plant. It's kind of a basic house plant these days, but I still love it all the same. It has rooted into the moss pole, even though it's just barely started climbing it. One of the plants has rooted. You're not going to be able to see it. It's like way in the back. And I just noticed it has a 3rd growth point, and here's the little leaf coming from the 3rd growth point. So yeah, I didn't even know it had 3 growth points until that little leaf popped out. It had thrips. That's going to be something I'm going to say a lot because I've had a lot of plants with thrips. Unfortunately, it's kind of an ongoing battle. But this one, you can see the crispy edges here and here. But it has continued to grow. There's the newest leaf. It even has a little bit of sport variegation, which is super cute, right there at the tip. So yeah, I really like that plant. Nice and big, and it gives me jungly vibes. Let's move down. I have a Monstera obliqua here. I bought this off of Etsy. It was $70, and you know, that's a lot of money for a plant, but I forget if it was my birthday or if I had gotten a bonus or something, but I was celebrating something, so I bought myself a plant. There's the newest leaf. It hasn't given me any new roots, and it hasn't pushed out any more leaves except for that one, but I love how unique the leaves look with all their fenestrations. Really cool, unique plant. Back here is a Hilo Beauty, a Caladium Hilo Beauty, and this, I love the variegation on the leaves, but this poor plant, the leaves were huge when I bought it, and I think there were like 4 leaves on there, and they have just gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, especially over the winter. I thought I was going to lose this plant. It is definitely part of the 2-leaf club, which is when one new leaf emerges, the 3rd one dies off, and so it only really ever has 2 leaves. I've recently put it directly under a grow light, and right now the humidity is really high. It's 81% right now, so I'm hoping that it will do okay under this grow light. Let's move down. I have a philodendron down here. This is my Prince of Orange, and this has been battling thrips for quite a while. The leaves have gotten smaller, and I don't know if that's because of the thrips or if there's another reason, but when the leaves emerge, they come out this bright orange color, hence the name Prince of Orange, and then fade to a green. And they're really beautiful when they come out. So there's the newest leaf. It's already started to fade. It's not as bright. And then it has a new leaf right in there. It has a lot of growth points. There's another one in there. But I do really like this plant, and I want it to get better and beat the thrips and get some bigger leaves. Okay, let's move up to my Rhaphidophora decursiva on a moss pole. This plant is finally doing something amazing. It is putting out a new leaf. after months and months of it just putting out node after node after node, right here we have node, 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 node. It finally has a new leaf right here. So that, I am just over the moon. I am so happy to see that. And then this larger plant, it must have given me like 10 nodes. It is well rooted to the moss pole. And I don't know if it's going to give me another leaf or if this is just going to be another node. We'll have to wait and see. But the leaf shape on this plant is so cool. It has amazing fenestrations, has dark green, glossy leaves. It's really neat looking. Oh, I have one plant that belongs here, but it's at the sink, so don't let me forget that. Let's move up to my Monstera dubia. I bought this plant off of Etsy. I paid $40, and it is growing. And I recently moved my grow lights around, so now it is directly under a grow light, and I can immediately see this newest leaf is bigger than the previous one. So it's enjoying the grow light. But this plant has the ability to grow huge fenestrated leaves. Right now it's just a juvenile form. So I'm after huge leaves, and I hope that it has enough light to get there, because that's what I'm after. But yeah, I really like this plant, and it has some silvery variegation on it, which is pretty. All right, down here we have another Monstera. I told you I like Monsteras. This is called a Pinnati partita, and I bought this cutting off of a lady from Facebook, and it had one leaf, and that leaf has since died off, and it's grown this one. It has rooted amazingly into the substrate. I've checked on the roots twice, and they look amazing. But the leaf, it's just gotten bleached a little bit, and it hasn't done a single thing. There's no new growth on it. And, you know, I was thinking this plant could do one of three things. It could die, it could grow, or it could do nothing. And right now it's doing the third option. It's doing absolutely nothing. So I continue to fertilize it, and I'm not overwatering it. But I hope that it gives me some more growth, because right now it's doing nothing. The next plant is my Monstera adansonii, and this plant I got at Lowe's, I believe, and it was like 6 plants in the pot. It was a nice big lush pot, and so I put it on a moss pole, and 2 of the growth points took off, and so they are growing up the moss pole, and the rest not doing so well, but 2 of them have done very well. The leaves are sizing up. Again, this plant has the potential to grow huge leaves, and I'm pretty happy with the way that they're sizing up, but you know what I've said, I'm after big leaves. So I think this plant is beautiful. It's a common house plant, but it's just so cool looking that it looks rare. Another plant that's doing very well is my Monstera standeliana. This plant is almost at the top, and it's a fast grower, and these leaves are huge. This is about as big as the leaves can get, as far as I know, as far as what I've seen. And I love the variegation on these leaves. This one has some beautiful chunky variegation on it. But all of them have some splashing. See that? And there's a tiny new leaf starting to grow. There, you can barely see. But I really like this plant just because I like the variegation, and I like how fast it grows. But again, I'm going to have to chop this once it reaches the top of its moss pole and try to do a chop and extend. There's a second plant growing in here, but it hasn't really done anything. It's all the way down here. It's given me one leaf and that's it. All right, let's move over to the window. So I have my bird of paradise here. There are 2 plants in the pot. I got this at Walmart. I think it was $25. And it is growing in new leaf. It's taking its time though. It's a slow grower for me. But I love the big tropical foliage on it. It's just a stunning plant. I have it in, so it's in just a regular pot and then a regular pot. It's in a regular like nursery pot, and I have that in a cashpo that is actually a 3-gallon crock that belonged to my grandma. So that's kind of special. It doesn't have any drainage holes, but I feel like I know how much to water it. I say that now. Hope it doesn't come back to bite me. But yeah, that's just a special touch. Something that used to belong to my grandma. And then I have this long string of fish hooks. This is called a Senecio radicans. And I bought this at a little like boutique stand at a craft fair. And it is such a, I mean, it has done amazing things. This is like, it's so cool. It was at about here, and then all this growth is new. I water it once a week. I've tried to propagate it several times and it has not taken, but that's okay. It's already a full pot, but I love it. I love how it looks. I have an alocasia silver dragon here. For some reason, my alocasias are not doing so well. They were doing really well, and then all of a sudden they're not doing great. By that I mean they're not giving me any new growth, and some of the leaves are dying off. But this is a silver dragon. I think I got it at Walmart. And I have it in my chunky Aroid mix, just so that I don't overwater it. But the leaves look so cool. And the backs of the leaves are purple. I mean, they're green, but they have purple veination. Really pretty. Let's see, I hope the lighting doesn't blow out these plants. Back here I have my Pastazinum. One of the plants, there are 2 plants in here. One of the plants I got from a seller on Facebook, and then the other I got from the plant swap for free, from the same seller. So I potted them up together. The 2 newest leaves didn't come out very well. The one got stuck in the petiole and ripped the leaf, and then the other one, it didn't unfurl all the way. It kind of died in the middle. So hopefully this one does a little bit better, but I have it here in a nice sunny spot, north-facing window. Here's one of my newest plants. It's a variegated vanilla orchid, and I want to put it on a moss pole, but I need to get more moss pole making materials, so those are coming in the mail. But I love it. It has like fat waxy leaves, and it's just so cute and beautiful. So that's in my orchid mix, my Aroid mix, and I love it. You can see the aerial roots there are just begging to be put on a moss pole. Here I have my salad of propagations. I got all of these from the plant swap. So these are Philodendron Heteroecium lemon lime. This is a Epipremnum mandula, I think. This is a Philodendron super dwarf red. In this, there are 3 cuttings in here. This is a Philodendron White Princess. And they're all alive, except this one. I pulled at it a little bit and it broke. So yeah, I'm not too confident this is gonna grow any roots, but you know, it might, so I just have it tucked in there. But that's my little propagation salad. Let's move down a level. Here's my other alocasia. This is a velvet, black velvet. And I love the leaves on this one. They are indeed velvety. And this has given me a lot of new growth, but as is with my other alocasia, it hasn't given me any new growth in the last like month or so. So I'm not sure why. And then a couple of the leaves are looking a little bit sad, so that one's probably gonna die off soon. It's turning yellow and brown. But like the backs of the leaves are purple, which is really pretty, and that leaf is huge. I love it. Back here is another plant swap plant, two of them actually. These are Philodendron El Choco Reds, and this one is putting out a new leaf. This one it's still alive, so that's, you know, pretty good. It had a very small root system. This larger one had a larger root system. But yeah, I got them for free at the plant swap, so that's pretty cool. This is a Pilea peperomioides, which is fun to say. And it was the first plant that I bought by mail. I bought it off of Etsy, and it's given me a lot of new growth this growing season. It didn't really do anything over the winter, and I was kind of worried about it, but I love the leaf shape. They look like little UFOs. This leaf shape is called peltate, and that means the petiole inserts itself into the underside of the leaf rather than on the edge of the leaf. So now you know. This is my other newest plant. It's an Epipremnum pinnatum albo, and you can see it has some variegation on there. That's not just the reflection from the window, that's some white variegation. But it has some aerial roots on it that are going to root very nicely into a moss pole, and I've been wanting this plant for quite a while, so I finally bought it. I think it was either $30 or $35 off of Etsy. The vanilla orchid was also either 30 or 35. And then my most expensive plant is my Monstera Thai Constellation. This was $75. I share with you prices just because I think it's important to talk about where prices are. Right now it's the spring of 2023, and I think the pricing trends are important to discuss. I know some people don't like to talk about prices. I don't mind, so that's why I share, just so that, you know, we can share with each other pricing information and where pricing trends go over the months and years. But this one's facing the window, but let's turn it so you can see the nice variegation on it. That's the newest leaf. It's going to look a little bit dark because of the backlighting, but really pretty. That's the second newest leaf, also very pretty. I've been wanting this plant for such a long time, and I told myself, don't buy it until you can take care of a regular green Monstera deliciosa without any problems. And yes, mine has had thrips, but it is growing. It doesn't have root rot because I did have some in the past, and they got root rot. So I told myself, you can't get one of these until you can take care of one without it getting root rot. And since mine is growing okay, I allowed myself to get one. And I love it. Okay, let's move down to some problem plants, which I'm not, you know, I'm going to share with you all of my plants, the good and the bad. This is my Peperomia argyria. I think I overwatered it and it got root rot. So all these leaves are turning black and I'm losing about a leaf a day. That and the leaf shape is really funny. And the leaf shape has been like this ever since I got it. So I don't know if it's like a nutrient deficiency, but they're all curled funny. And then they all turned black. I did get it on clearance. It was half off, so I don't feel as bad. Okay, that's enough for that plant. This plant is doing well. This is a bromeliad pup. I had a bromeliad that I got at Lowe's, and it had pups. It had 4 pups. I took them off. None of them made it. And then it had 5 more pups, and this one was the biggest, so I kept this one. I gave one to my mom, and then I took 3 to the plant swap. And the largest one, like I said, I kept, and it's doing really well. I have it in peat moss right now, and because it is an epiphyte, I plan to move it to an aroid mix once the root system gets more established. I have a Peperomia argyria propagation back here. It has roots. It doesn't have a new plant growing out of it yet. I don't really care about it, especially because my mother plant is not doing well. So I don't think I will end up keeping that, but it's just kind of a science experiment for now. My Begonia maculata is not doing well. Again, I think I overwatered it. It does have one growth point with some nice leaves on it. They are pretty small. There's like the biggest one. It's half the size of my hand. But it's just a bunch of sticks. See? Now I did take a bunch of cuttings, and they are in this propagation vessel. And some of them are rooting, so I do have hopes for this plant, unlike my Peperomia. And I will put the propagations back in this plant. I do also have a snake plant propagation. This is the one that has, you can see it has a little root on it. Look how cute. I've had this in here for probably 10 months. So that's super exciting to see. All right, let's move on. I have 2 more moss poles. These are both philodendrons. This one is my Philodendron Splendid. And it has a new leaf, which is so stunning. It's like bright, oh, what would you say this color is? Like a caramel color? And that's the normal green color, and this one's like caramel. It is sizing up. There's the previous leaf, and then the leaf before it. So this one I'm hoping will be even bigger. I love the velvety texture on the leaves. And then this one is a Philodendron Paraíso Verde, and my cats got to it. Usually these leaves are variegated, and it had a beautiful big variegated leaf on it, and the cats tore it off before I was even able to pot it up. But it gave me this new leaf, which is not variegated, and since then it has not grown at all. It has rooted into the moss pole. Oh, it's pretty dark, but it's right in there, so that's good to see. I've got a little fungus gnat issue in this corner. I think it's originally come from this plant. Like, the water likes to sit in this dish, so that's kind of an issue. But yeah, I hope I can get the variegation to come back on this plant. That would be nice. Okay, let's move up to my window shelf. The first one is my, I'm going to stand up on the couch. Ooh. Okay, the first one is my croton, or Codium variegatum. I got this from my landlord at the house that I lived at before this house. And you can see it has lost a lot of leaves. I didn't know anything about plants at that time, but it has made a comeback, and it has given me recently a lot of new leaves. So that's good. And this plant is so prone to spider mites. I have to check it all the time and spray it pretty often. I have back here a little cactus. I've had this plant for the longest out of any of my house plants, and I pretty much ignore it. It has a lot of little babies in there. So it's a slow grower, but it's cute. So I just let it hang out in this little hanging terrarium, and I think it's happy. I mean, it hasn't complained at all, so yeah, I think that's my only cactus. I have a euphorbia here. This is a succulent, and it has some new growth on there, right there, and also on this little growth point over there. I just think this plant is so unique looking. Yeah, it just looks really cool. There's my Crookes radiometer. I have in here some lithops. There's 5 lithops in there, or stone plants. And then these 2 are called Pleospilos nellii. And I had a third one, and it got stem rot or root rot or something, and I had to take it out, and I'm really worried that these 2 are also going to get rot. I just have a bad feeling about it. And if they do, I'll take them out and I think replace them with some more lithops, because the lithops are doing pretty well and they're really cute. This is another succulent. I have no idea what it's called. And it, if I can get the camera to focus, it has what I think is a flower spike right there. Can you see that? Maybe. There it is. There's a little, maybe a flower spike, or maybe it's a weed. I'm not sure. It's something. And then I have an Anthurium andreanum. I battled with thrips with this plant. I haven't seen any in quite a while. Well, when I say quite a while with thrips, I mean like a week. But it has grown some new leaves, and I hope to get some flowers from it this growing season. That would be nice. So that's just this little shelf here. I have another shelf. Oh, I'm gonna get off the couch and head to the other shelf. This is a Phalaenopsis orchid I got from Walmart. I got it for $3.50 because it had stopped blooming. And I am waiting for it to rebloom. It has stopped growing leaves. So I think that means it's working on a new spike. And I keep checking on it, and it hasn't done anything. So I'm trying to be patient. This is my sad Aglaonema ghost. I brought it to the plant swap and no one wanted it. It's not a favorite plant of mine. I'm just kind of letting it die, I guess. I mean, I'm taking care of it the best I can, but it doesn't really like what I'm doing to it. So, oh, let me get it down. It was really pretty when I bought it, but I don't think it's grown. Maybe 2 new leaves is all. The cats have chewed on it, and I know it's not good for them. So I put it up on the shelf to try and keep it away from them. I think I overwatered it. You know, I don't want to just throw it away, but I don't think I could even give this away. So I'm just going to keep it on the shelf and see what it does. Next is my Tradescantia zebrina. Let me get up on a chair. There, now you can see how pretty they are. So yeah, you can see the zebra stripes on them, and then the purple backs. You can see right there. Really cute, fast grower, easy propagator. The cats like to chew on it when it starts to hang down, so I have to make sure that it stays up on the shelf. And then this is my Phalaenopsis orchid that has rebloomed for me, and it has been in bloom for like a couple months, I think. These flowers are finally starting to die off, but you can see how beautiful they are. I just love looking at this plant. I water and fertilize this plant once a week and keep it in this east-facing window, and that's all I really did for it. I have one fake plant. This is a string of pearls. And I really like the planter that it's in, so I just kind of kept it. Anyway, I just thought I would show you that. It hangs out by the window. I have two plants over here that this one I watered and this one I had to treat. So this is my Vanda Orchid Dr. Anik, it's called, and I water it every day. That's why it's kind of hanging here in the sink. It hasn't grown hardly at all for me. In fact, it's lost a lot of leaves and lost a lot of roots. I don't really know what the secret is for this plant, but I think it looks cool. It doesn't have any growing medium in the Vanda pot. It just grows like this. It grows on trees in nature, and so this is how it grows in the houseplant world. And then this very last plant is my Philodendron Rojo Congo, and it had thrips, so I have it over by the sink because I sprayed it. And I'm just letting it dry. Yeah, next to my dishes. It is what it is. But the previous leaf had a lot of thrips damage, so it didn't unfurl. So I'm hoping the newest leaf will unfurl. The new leaves on this plant are stunning. They are like a orangey, pinky coral color. They are so beautiful. And then they eventually fade to green. I'm just hoping that I can get this leaf to come out in that beautiful coral color. Because I've had success with it. Some of these leaves came out beautifully. But then the thrips, man, they just kill everything. So anyway, that's the entirety. That's the entirety of my houseplant collection. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that interesting and relaxing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.